Everybody, welcome back. Yep, I am out of ranked purgatory, finally. Oh man, what a challenge that was. And honestly, it wasn't that. I mean, it was a challenge for a bit, and then I got to rank 5, and it became almost impossible for me to play. And what you're seeing here is a clip. I think this was actually, I want to say this was at rank 6. This was the last time I actually felt good about my shots in the Amagi or any other battleship for the remainder of ranked. Once I hit rank 5, wow, things had a huge drop-off. I had close to 120,000 average damage a game in the Amagi in ranked up until that point. It was like 117, 118k, something like that. That dropped by 20,000. The Turpits I initially had at 115,000 average damage a game, and that dropped by 20,000. My accuracy went from 33% on average down to 24% and was still dropping. Per match with my Amagi, it was probably in the range of 10, well no, there were a few matches where I had 10%, a few where I still had 30% accuracy, but for the most part it was about 15 to 20%, just instantly, just dropped. And I was missing full salvos on Miyoko's and Mogami's, Atagos, even other battleships under 10 kilometers. I couldn't hit them at all. I've never experienced a game fight against me so much that it actually made me want to just stop altogether and uninstall the goddamn thing. You could call it tinfoil hat or whatever, but for me to have a drop like that so drastic that's not my play, and I know that because I jumped right into a few random battles and was averaging like 140,000 damage, like hitting almost every single shot. So, and from the same ranges or further, like it's not that hard, it really isn't. So when I see these shots come in and it's like 2 bolt lengths long of dispersion in ranked, and then I go into random battles and do a shot from further away that is like not even half that width of dispersion, I gotta call foul somewhere. I mean, it seems so forced, and maybe it's just the statistics, maybe I just don't notice it otherwise, but I don't know. Man, this has been one hell of a frustrating experience. So yeah, this clip is basically detailing some of the stuff that happens that is exactly why ranked can be frustrating and why you have to be very, very careful about the way you play. And you'll see it in the second video here, or the second clip as well. So I had purchased the Mogami because I was completely ineffective with the battleships. I just couldn't win with them. So I bought the Mogami back because I had sold it a while ago. And you know, got the upgrades for it and everything. I have a 10.5 kilometer concealment range. I don't have the 5-point skill to drop that even further, but you know, I was using this and able to respond to enemy destroyers a lot more effectively, and not only that, but keep them further away from my team's battleships. So I went on an 11-5 run, so I played 16 matches last night, and you know, it worked out pretty well. So we had just taken out you know, an enemy destroyer there, and you see that destroyer that just died. He says that he has no guns, or he had 2 guns knocked out, and I'm not trying to pick on this guy. I've played with him a bunch, but it's decision making like that where he had no reason to chase an enemy and he continued to do so anyways, that can completely ruin your match. And you know, more importantly, the match of the other 6 people on your team. If you get it out there that you don't play very well as a team, you know, in conjunction with your teammates and stuff like that, people will hound you, and I did see a TK based off of exactly that because of an argument from a previous match that, you know, I wasn't involved in. where two people were arguing about the match that had just happened, and it boiled over into a team kill, and we definitely lost that match, and it was total shit. So, you know, ranked is a little different. I'll say that, alright? It's, you're gonna have an entirely different competitive edge in ranked than you will in random battles, because it's ranked. You know, you're trying to achieve a long-term goal with short-term results. You know, you have to get all these matches won. You have to try to move up in the ranks to get the end game of, you know, the various rewards with the credits, the flag, the all the signal flags and whatnot. You know, I probably took this shit too seriously myself too, but my god, when it took 130 matches to get to rank 1. I mean, that is ridiculous. My solo play is a hell of a lot better than that in random battles, and so for it to be that bad in ranked was very frustrating. And seeing some of the things that people did was equally frustrating, because you have no idea why your team's 2 destroyers just both got taken out by an enemy Benson who has his engines knocked out, sitting in the A cap of North, and he has something like 700 health left, and he manages to kill 2 full health destroyers. And that actually happened. Like, that's how we started the match one time. In a minute and a half, we lost 2 destroyers to a ship that you could sneeze on and it would destroy it. Like, come on, man. You just have to play more cautiously. Even if your guns are taken out, you can still do something. Surviving is a tool to win, and that is important, because if they see that you're still on the board, if you're still alive, it will change the enemy's behavior. They won't you know, go into certain areas. They won't pursue particular enemies, that sort of thing. You have to think of the big picture and not exactly what's not always what's happening right at that moment, you know. But anyways, this was one of the better matches in terms of the kills, at least. I didn't really get much in the way of kills with the Mogami, but I did a lot of fire damage and whatnot over the course of the 16 matches I played with it, and I had reserved myself to a role of trying to stick around my battleships to have that buffer zone for them, so they would hopefully have about, you know, at least 6 kilometers, hopefully more than that, between them and the enemy destroyers if they popped up, you know, just to have that that really small area of influence, like assured destruction, basically. If they come in here, they're gonna die. They may get torps off, but I'm still gonna take them out of the match. And I like how I hit the enemy Atago over there with 2 HE shells, and he still had the same damn health. Now this is the last match, and this is the rank 1 battle, and wow, do I screw up. But the first contact here is with an enemy Kiev, and this is exactly what you want to see. Look at all these shots coming in. That's a team that's paying attention, and not only that, they're in a position to fire upon the first enemy that's spotted. And that's actually a crucial point, because on some maps you'll see people staying behind the islands and stuff. They do not respond to the first enemy contact, and you'd be amazed at how much that can shoo people away and make them, you know, go the far away back around an island to keep them out of the fight for a bit longer. And I really think that having a concerted effort there, like showing that overwhelming firepower, of course, to the first target, it really dictates the tone of the match, at least for a few minutes. So generally this is the area that I came to when I would start in the north part of Land of Fire, and try to control this area, try to prevent the destroyers from coming through and pushing in too far. I'm not too thrilled about my team's battleship placement. in this match up to a certain point, of course, and I just fire off one set of torps through the gap here just in case I need that for these two gaps here. You never know what's going to happen, so I figure, what the hell, I might as well try to keep something at the ready, right? And I'm detected at this point, and this is also pretty much the only time I've ever used the situational awareness perk with any ship that's not a destroyer, because I am attempting to keep my concealment as low as possible, and I need that further range with the Mogami's 155s, which, you know, 18.1 kilometer range with a 10.5 kilometer concealment range. I have a few kilometers there of buffer. I think it's, I think I was spotted, it's close to 15 kilometers, I think, if I fire, so it's something like that. But when you fire, you know, your concealment flares up, so say it goes from 10.5 to about 14.5, the enemy planes, the spotter planes or the fighter planes have spotted me, unfortunately, and that kind of sucks because they know exactly what I'm doing here. They know my every movement, and I'm just trying to pick a fight here a little bit with their battleships and try to set them on fire, keep their repair party on cooldown as much as I can, so that way they, you know, if they get 2, 3, 4 fires raging, they get hit by torps, they're not prepared to mitigate the damage right off the bat, and so they have to use their healing party. And by the way, just to throw this out there, you have got to run premium consumables. There's, like, in ranked, every second matters, and here, like, getting that Tashkent there, hitting him, and I don't know what the hell happened here. I'm pretty sure I did not hit M to go to the big map screen there, but I took out the Tashkent's engines on back-to-back salvos there, so he's just pretty much dead in the water. He's screwed. And you know, when it comes to having your consumables, you just find that in ranked, the opportunity, the window of opportunity is so much smaller than you would otherwise get in other matches, such as random battles. You know, people really are trying to play hard. It doesn't always seem that way, but you know, it's one of those things that it's better to be prepared and hope that you don't need it, than end up having to be like, oh shit, I really wish I would have loaded up the premium consumables and took off 30 seconds off of the cooldown, you know? So I'm going to this view because I'm an idiot. And I'm just showing you the area that I initially wanted to go around was that island there. I wanted to go on the back side of that. And you're going to see how I predict my own death before it happens. So this Amagi, I didn't want to fire just in case he did get a clean shot on my my side there, because I was definitely very exposed. And see that the destroyer's pretty close, and just in case he decides to move up or the Amagi starts to shoot through that northern gap there, I send some torps down through the channel to try to deny them from coming around our backside. So the problem here is twofold. One, there's the fact that I'm detected by aircraft, and I think in the second here I get detected by the destroyer in the smoke, and I'm turning too sharply. So if you can tell what's going to happen here, I'm not going to end up where I want to go. And so the God, this is embarrassing to watch again, really. I start turning right here, anticipating that I'm going to get around, and I recognize, oh shit, I've turned too much, and I'm going to have to keep turning, otherwise I'm going to beach myself. And I recognize that the Amagi's right there, and as I mentioned in the chat, yep. So, first Amagi. Let's see how bad this one is. About 17 or 16,000. Alright. And here comes the second one. Son of a bitch. Well, at least I started a fire, I guess, right? Yeah, I did not do what I wanted to do at all. One of the very, very few instances where I totally, comprehensively screwed up, and that's all on me. Now, granted, I do wish that our battleships were in more of a position to be able to mitigate that forward movement from the enemy battleships that are at B, or I'm sorry, that are at A, and you know, that's just something that happens from time to time, of course. But I mean, obviously I can't expect everybody to be in a position to help me, even if I'm in a position to try to help them. So, yeah, that's just the way of the world, right? But yeah, the ships are coming through though, and unfortunately for an enemy Tirpitz, that Fubuki here, yep, you know it's coming. So 56,000 health, and it starts to go away pretty quickly here, down to nothing. Nice. This guy's pretty good, by the way. If he's still working on rank 1, you better watch out. You know, I think I've run into a few of his torps a couple times, but we pull back to almost even with them in the points total. And a very interesting set of developments happen here. Now, really, the biggest problem that our team has had was the fact that the Mogami on their team had been in the south, and he's still down there somewhere, and that really threw us off track. It definitely screwed up our positioning quite a bit. Now what you're seeing here is the lead Tirpitz dealing with the fire from 2 Amagis. He launched a set of torps at the lead Amagi. He does get him with 1 right there, and he's going to pursue that Amagi. Meanwhile, we have our Amagi that's pretty heavily damaged. He's, you know, hanging back a little bit further. Our Tirpitz just launched some torps, and I think our destroyer also launched some torps there too. So the double set right there. But there's a Benson and the Amagi that are trying to creep around and see if they can get into the fight here. Luckily for us, the enemy Amagi here takes a lot of damage from these torps, and he's in pretty bad shape right now. So going back to the lead Tirpitz here, the Amagi beached himself, and so the other side of the ship here, the Tirpitz, he launched his torps, his port side torps, managed to get another hit, and he's really low on health. It didn't look like he'd be able to pull this off, but he's down the turret and manages to get a shot in his side there and finish him off. And he's on fire too, so this is actually pretty impressive what happens there. But our second Tirpitz decides to rush in and say hello to the Benson, and damn. Now watch how close this torp launch is. Holy shit. Oh my god, that sealed the deal. So fantastic. And 62 health on that Tirpitz. Incredible. And almost lost that to Magi too. So finished that with a win. Got the rewards, the 10 million credits, Jolly Roger flag, the XP camo, and a bunch of flags too. Finally. And not a good performance. So the things I would change with ranked, because there are a lot of things, but I'll only mention the main ones. The progression system is bullshit, flat out. You shouldn't lose rank. You should lose stars, sure, but getting to a rank is hard enough as it is in a lot of respects. You know, as far as carrying the matchmaking and all that, I've seen some remarkably stupid shit, and the thing is, like, I get penalized for that. You know, my teammates get penalized for one person being a total dumbass, and it's a 7v7. It's not 12v12 like random battles. To have that type of punishment in place is sadistic at best. It's fucking poor poor game design, in my opinion. I don't agree with it, and I don't think the rewards are nearly good enough for the amount of shit that we have to deal with to be able to get there. And part of it's the matchmaking, part of it's part of it's everything, really. But at the same time, the wins are incredibly rewarding. When you win, you feel like, hell yeah. Like, it is so much more gratifying, you know. But then the losses are equally bad, you know. I mean, or equally as strong in terms of they're devastating, really. And I don't know exactly what the balance is to find here, but I think they really need to go back to the drawing board with this mode and hopefully figure something out that is a little bit more manageable and gets people back to random battles, because from what I've seen, pretty much everybody's been playing ranked. But either way, best of luck to you guys out there, and thank you for watching the ranked videos. I hope the carnage was enjoyable, but see you next time.